Today's video is going to be a review of the Makeup by Mario's SurrealSkin Liquid Foundation. So Makeup by Mario is Mario Dedivanovic, who is a famous makeup artist. Most notably, he has been Kim Kardashian's makeup artist for over a decade now and does absolutely beautiful makeup. So we're going to try his new foundation. So the website says that it's a breathable, luminous foundation, effortlessly blends to illuminate the complexion, and it's a long-wearing, medium coverage foundation. So I also purchased one of his Soft Pop blush sticks. So the container is glass. It is 1 ounce or 30 mils, and in Canada it retails for $55. So I bought the shade 4C, comes with a very nice pump there. So it blends out really nicely, and it doesn't really have a smell, which is nice. I don't like fragrance in my makeup or especially in my foundations. I'm going to start at the top of my cheek and stipple it in and work my way down.
We've had this conversation and you seem to agree with me, but when there's complications, you withdraw and leave me to be.
Spreading out quite nicely.
Problem, you become like a wall.
Now this is a more sheer coverage foundation, so this half of my face has the foundation, this half doesn't. I am noticing up in my forehead though that it's pilling a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but right there, I've got a little mark. You can see where it didn't stick, I guess. I don't have any skincare on. I don't have a primer, nothing. It's just literally on top of my natural skin. So let's do the rest of the face and see what the overall coverage looks like.
Don't you help me the way I help you. You don't have to save me, just be my parachute.
Okay, so I am starting to see a lot of luminosity start to come out in the foundation. I mean, I do have lights on, but it's still quite luminous. I'm not so sure I like that because if it's already luminous now, what is it going to look like in a few hours? I do expect or want my foundation to last at least 8 hours, I'm going to say. You put it on before you go to work, you do a full day, so that's 8 hours or 10 hours. So my expectation is that it will last at least 8 hours, looking well. It's not bad for coverage. Everything looks pretty good, except my forehead. I do have some bunching there. Like I had to go over this area 3 or 4 times in order to cover up whatever didn't stick there. I'm going to do my makeup off camera and then I'll come back and we'll apply the blush. So I did apply my stick bronzer on my cheek area, and I did notice when I was blending it out with the brush, it was starting to remove some of the foundation. And even when I put some bronzer over top, it was lifting off some of the foundation. So not a good start, but let's go on to the blush. It says that it is a sheer buildable coverage with a dewy finish and a moisturizing formula. It's a dual-ended cream blush stick. So it has the cream blush on the top, and on the bottom is a little brush to help apply. The bumps are meant to help for a seamless application. So I bought the shade Pale Petal. Now normally I would either use my finger to apply it to my face or just dab a little bit on. But it does come with this handy dandy little brush here. I did watch Mario's tutorial on the website, so I'm just going to apply a little bit to the top of my cheek. I'm just going to lightly try and tap it into my skin there. Tap it into the foundation. So I would recommend putting the lid back on if you're going to use the brush. I just got it all over my hand and I ended up hitting it with my finger and I put a little mark in my blush there. It's a pretty looking blush, but I will admit, using the little applicator on the back pulled off my foundation underneath. I don't get it. I'm going to try it again. This time, I'm just going to put some on, and I use my finger, because it is a cream blush, to pat it in.
Yeah.
Still ended up pulling off the foundation over here on my cheek. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on there. I'm gently, ever so gently, pressing it into my skin. I'm not dragging it, I'm not swiping it, because I'm trying to not take the foundation off. It's pulling off the foundation there. It's still a very pretty color, like the blush itself, very pretty. This foundation does not look very good. I don't know what's happening here. I feel like it's already starting to separate. Around my nose, it's starting to separate. Obviously, I've got pores on my nose, and it's separated there, and my forehead just doesn't look very nice at all. Looking at my camera there, it took me 30 minutes maybe to do my whole look. I'm already getting some cracking in the foundation right there. See that? I have a little wrinkle right there. It's worse on that side. I am gonna powder a little bit because I always do. I'm gonna say probably a luminous foundation definitely needs to be powdered. So I'm gonna take powder and powder where I normally do, just under my cheeks there and my jawline. So I didn't conceal my chin area or anything down here. Let's just see how the foundation wears on its own. So I'm gonna powder my chin. Take a little powder around my nose because that's where I'm gonna sweat a little bit. This is where I would powder any foundation or any base product. I always do the T-zone. So it's been about 5 minutes. I'm gonna just gently wipe off the excess powder. So this is what it looks like. I've got the blush on. I've got a little bit of powder through the T-zone and under the cheeks there. Like, I really don't like that you can see my wrinkle there already. Like, makeup will settle as the day goes on, and that just, it's what happens. Like, you can see my marionette lines, that's fine. It happens with all foundation, but that just doesn't make me very happy at all. So I've got a bunch of errands. I'm going to take you guys with me. You'll be able to see what the makeup looks like in natural light. So let's get going. I'm out doing my errands. I'm in my car so you guys can see what it looks like in natural light. It's quite luminous. And I've only had it on for maybe 2 hours. I literally finished doing the first part of the video, got in my car, and went to go do my running around. It looks pretty, I guess. What I don't like though is definitely you can see the separation around my nose. That wrinkle looks even worse, and my forehead really doesn't look very nice at all. So yeah, we'll just keep going and see how the rest of the day goes. But at the moment, I'm not really a big fan. The blush was very light. It's very pretty, but it pulled off my foundation on both of my cheeks. So not really a big fan of that either. Anyways, I'll continue on with my errands and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. So I'm back from doing my errands and I haven't touched up my makeup at all. So this is what the foundation looks like. This is a medium coverage foundation and I'm at about the 4.5–5 hour mark. It isn't that long wearing. It kind of looks like I'm sweaty or I've got greasy sunscreen on or something. It is really beautiful packaging. It is a glass bottle that you're getting. It's really nice that it comes with a pump. What I didn't like about it is that it is breaking apart and I haven't had it on for very long. It is separating around my nose area. It is emphasizing the fact that I've got pores on my nose and around my cheek area. It has separated on my chin area, and my forehead does not look good. Some areas are patchy because the foundation didn't stick very well. And when I lift, and you can see my wrinkles, when I lower my forehead, the foundation cracked and was very noticeable when I was out and about today. You can see I have this wrinkle right here, and when I smile, you can really see it with this foundation. And I noticed that right away. When I applied it, within 30 minutes, this wrinkle really started to stand out, which I'm not very happy about, that the makeup settled so quickly. It shouldn't emphasize the imperfections on our skin, which I feel like this foundation did for me. Now, I have more mature skin and it is on the drier side. Now, if you do have oilier skin, I would recommend either trying a oil blocking primer, an oil blocking spray, and you're definitely going to need to powder this foundation down because the luminosity really becomes quite intense as the day goes on. I love Mario. I think he's an amazing makeup artist. He is at the top of his game and his makeup looks beautiful when he does it. I just think for the average person, this is a lot of money to spend on a product that isn't that great. I wouldn't recommend it. I think that there are better products out there that are less expensive that would give you the same luminosity but aren't greasy, that don't look this shiny. I did do a review of the House Labs foundation about a month ago, and I'll link the video above if you want to check it out. For a couple dollars more, that foundation was spectacular. It didn't emphasize any texture or any wrinkles that I had on my face, but it just made my skin look pretty and youthful, and I had this nice radiance to my skin. So now I'll move on to the blush. I did like the color of the blush, and I think the stick is very nice. It did go on really smoothly, and the color was super pretty. What I didn't like when I applied the blush, it did pull off the foundation. Now I did use my finger, that did pull it off, and I did use the recommended applicator that comes with the blush. It still pulled off the foundation underneath. Now I did notice when I was applying my bronzer stick and my powder bronzer, it also pulled the foundation off. I don't know if that's the blush issue or if that's the foundation issue. I love the idea that he put a brush in there, but I'm not so sure it was all that helpful in the application. Again, that's a personal preference, but if you want to spend the money, it's still a really nice blush. I still would recommend probably using your fingers to apply it to your skin. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.